Hello everyone. When playing Honkai Star Rail, it's crucial to consider various factors such as light cones, relics, eidolons, and team composition. These elements significantly influence your team's effectiveness, and even characters ranked lower on the tier list can perform exceptionally well if you invest in them properly. The tier list provided aims to reflect the optimal setups, but keep in mind that character performance can vary depending on how you build your team and utilize these resources. It's natural to have different opinions about the tier list, as personal preferences, calculations, and biases towards certain characters come into play. While it's fine to disagree with the rankings, please remember to share your thoughts respectfully. Engaging in constructive discussions benefits the entire community and helps us all improve our understanding of the game. I'm quickly moving on to the video, and I'm ranking characters in Honkai Star Rail. Before we start, if you enjoy these types of tier list videos, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Enjoy watching. My friends, only 0.1% of viewers subscribe. If you like this type of content, please do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you in advance for your support. The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Arlen and Trailblazer Destruction. Arlen is a character who, much like Blade, sacrifices his HP to increase his damage output. However, Arlen falls short in comparison, making him a less effective option. His damage scales with his missing HP, but his self-sustain ability is limited. It only activates if his HP drops below 20% and if he personally defeats an enemy. This makes Arlen a risky choice, as one misstep could easily lead to his downfall. In a game where dodging enemy attacks isn't an option, managing a character like Arlen becomes incredibly difficult, especially if your healer isn't quick to react. The Trailblazer in the Destruction path is our initial physical DPS unit, capable of dealing both single target and blast damage. They can boost their own ATK during battle by inflicting weakness break, and can also heal the party using their technique before the fight begins. However, the usefulness of their technique is questionable, since the Space Anchor provides a more reliable healing option outside of battle. The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Dan Heng, Luca, Misha, Sampo, Sushang, Yanking, March 7th, Natasha, Trailblazer Preservation, and Yukong. As a starter character, Dan Heng offers decent damage output that can be pushed even higher with the right light cone and relics. His ability to slow enemies with his skill makes him a valuable asset, especially since his damage increases against slowed foes, providing consistent utility in most battles. Luca, the boxing champion, excels as a single-target DOT damage dealer. He can inflict bleed on his enemies and increase the damage they take with his ultimate. However, as a hybrid damage dealer and debuffer, Luca's debuffing potential doesn't quite match up to dedicated debuffers like Pella or Silverwolf, though he still brings valuable utility to the team. Misha's DPS potential is largely locked behind his ultimate, which becomes more powerful through skill point consumption by himself or his team. His ultimate can dish out significant damage, especially when it bounces to other enemies, but his reliance on skill points makes him a bit more challenging to use effectively compared to other DPS characters. A hidden gem among the 4-star roster, Sampo shines as a DOT damage dealer. Unlike Luca, he can deal AoE damage that bounces between enemies, stacking wind shear in the process. His ultimate enhances the DOT taken by enemies, making him an excellent supporter in teams focused on damage over time, particularly against wind-weak bosses. Sushang stands out for her high single-target damage, especially for a 4-star character. Her damage spikes even further against enemies affected by weakness break. With her E1, Sushang also contributes to the team's skill point recovery, making her a versatile pick for various situations. Yanking, like other 5-star DPS characters, can deliver massive damage thanks to his offensive buffs. However, his performance hinges on avoiding damage, as taking a hit can deactivate his buff. This vulnerability, especially when facing multiple enemies, places him lower on the tier list, though he can be devastating if protected properly. March 7th is a shield-focused character who also counterattacks enemies that hit her shielded ally. While her damage output is low, her ultimate, which can freeze all enemies, offers significant utility, particularly in the simulated universe, Remembrance Path. Despite her low damage, she remains a valuable defensive option. Natasha is a healer that every player will obtain early on, serving as a crucial lifeline for new players. She can heal a single ally, remove debuffs, and provide healing over time. Her ultimate heals the entire party, making her a solid option for beginner content. However, in endgame scenarios where enemies apply widespread debuffs, Natasha's single-target cleanse may struggle to keep up. The Fire MC Trailblazer specializes in shielding and taunting enemies, reducing incoming damage for the team. Their ultimate provides a shield to the entire team while dealing damage based on their DF. However, the damage output is modest, as their primary role is to protect rather than attack. Yukong, while a supporting character, can deal some damage through her ultimate. Her effectiveness largely depends on properly tuning her SPD to act before the team's DPS characters. Although she may not be the best choice for beginners, mastering Yukong's build allows her to provide valuable ATK, crit rate, and crit DMG buffs to the team, enhancing overall performance. The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Guinaifen, Herta, Himeko, Hook, Chinke, Serval, Sueyi, Asta, Bailu, Gepard, Hanya, Lynx, and Welt. Guinaifen excels as a DOT damage dealer or debuffer with a focus on burning enemies. Her ability to amplify damage taken by enemies affected by the burn status makes her a valuable asset in prolonged fights, where managing multiple enemies is crucial. Herta stands out as a valuable free character with significant potential. Her AoE damage capabilities and follow-up attacks are particularly useful in modes like Pure Fiction, where multiple enemies spawn in waves. However, she may underperform in boss battles, making her best suited for crowd control scenarios. Himeko, much like Jingyuan, is an erudition character who relies heavily on follow-up attacks to inflict damage. Her skills and ultimate are designed to handle groups of enemies effectively, making her particularly effective in situations with numerous foes, especially in Pure Fiction mode. Hook, the boss of the moles, specializes in single-target combat. Her skill targets a single enemy, but her ultimate allows her to hit adjacent enemies, making her versatile in dealing with both focused and surrounding threats. Chinke, despite being a 4-star character, can deal immense damage based on luck with tile matching. When lucky enough to trigger her hidden hand state or benefit from favorable blessings in the propagation path, she can potentially rise in the tier list. Serval, a rare erudition character, inflicts shock on enemies, extending the duration of her DOT effects with her ultimate. Her damage output increases as the battle progresses, making her effective against groups of enemies rather than single bosses. Sueyi offers a unique playstyle, utilizing both follow-up attacks and her ultimate to deliver damage. Her ultimate can deplete an enemy's toughness bar, regardless of their quantum weakness, providing a strategic advantage in combat. Asta, the wealthiest girl at Herta Space Station, provides both offensive and supportive benefits. Her talent boosts ATK and increases fire DMG on burning enemies, while her main kit enhances team SPD, benefiting DOT-based strategies. Bielu, while her healing might seem ordinary for a 5-star character, offers a unique revival ability that can bring a downed ally back into the fight. This ability is especially useful in challenging content like Forgotten Hall and Simulated Universe, although it's limited to one use per battle unless fully upgraded. Gepard, often overshadowed by other healers, provides team-wide shields and attracts enemy attacks to himself. His talent allows him to survive a single knockdown and fully restore his energy, making him a durable and reliable support character when built correctly. Hanya's unique kit revolves around recovering skill points after meeting specific team requirements. Her abilities include increasing damage dealt to enemies with burden and boosting the DPS and ATK of a single ally, making her particularly useful in teams that frequently use skill points. Lynx, although her healing might not match that of 5-star characters, offers a solid set of utilities. She cleanses debuffs from the entire party, making her an excellent choice in teams where destruction is the primary DPS, especially those that benefit from being hit to deal more damage. Welt functions as both a debuffer and sub-DPS, dealing respectable damage while slowing enemies and delaying their turns with his ultimate. His versatility in both debuffing and enhancing damage taken by enemies makes him a valuable addition to any team. The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right: Argenti, Black Swan, Blade, Clara, Dr. Ratio, Jing Yuan, Kafka, Seal, Topaz and Numbi, Jade, Yunli, March 7th, The Hunt, Pella, Ting Yun, Trailblazer Harmony and Gallagher. Argenti is one of the finest AoE DPS characters in Honkai Star Rail. His ultimate ability can trigger twice, depending on his energy levels, making him exceptional against large groups of enemies or elite foes that summon additional minions. As an erudition character, he excels in mob control rather than single boss scenarios, making him the ideal choice for battles involving multiple enemies. Black Swan specializes in stackable damage over time, DOT effects, known as Arcana, which become increasingly powerful with each stack. While her ultimate damage may not be overwhelming, her strength lies in stacking these Arcana through both her own attacks and those of her allies. Pair her with other DOT characters like Kafka to maximize her devastating potential, turning her into a formidable force against enemies. Blade stands out as a unique DPS with self-sustaining abilities that allow him to heal himself by consuming his own HP. His efficiency in managing skill points, SP, is unmatched, making him a valuable asset for maintaining team resources. Blade also works exceptionally well as a sub-DPS in teams, such as those led by Jingliu, ensuring balanced damage output and sustainability. Clara relies on her companion, Svarog, to deal damage through counterattacks. With Svarog's support, Clara experiences reduced damage and can cleanse debuffs, proving invaluable against enemies that frequently inflict status effects. This synergy makes Clara a reliable choice for tackling tough foes with debuffing capabilities. Dr. Ratio is an impressive free 5-star character, delivering substantial single-target damage. His high damage output makes him a sought-after character for his Eidolons, despite his follow-up attack mechanic being dependent on the presence of multiple debuffs. Achieving maximum effectiveness with Dr. Ratio is feasible and rewarding, given his powerful damage potential. Jing Yuan is a remarkable erudition character who focuses on follow-up attacks rather than ultimate damage. His effectiveness increases with the number of hits per action Lightning Lord possesses, making him particularly powerful against enemies with lightning vulnerabilities. Jing Yuan's ability to exploit weaknesses and deal significant damage makes him a valuable team member. Kafka excels in a team environment where her DOT capabilities can shine. While she may not be overwhelming on her own, pairing her with other DOT DPS characters like Black Swan, Sampo, or Gwynaifen allows her to unleash a torrent of damage. This team synergy creates a high-impact, multifaceted assault on enemies. Seal, though an older limited character, remains highly effective with her massive single-target damage potential. She benefits greatly from support characters like Ting Yun or Bronya, enhancing her performance even further. Seal's high base speed and ability to gain extra turns when defeating an ally make her a formidable and enduring force in battle. Topaz and Numby feature a strong follow-up attack DPS in Numby, who works well alongside characters like Dr. Ratio. Topaz's skills inflict a debuff called Proof of Debt on enemies, increasing the damage they receive from follow-up attacks. This synergy makes them a powerful addition to any team focused on follow-up damage strategies. Pela is an effective def shredder with a focus on multiple enemies rather than single targets. Her ability to remove enemy buffs adds to her versatility as a debuffer. Pela's utility in both debuffing and DF reduction makes her a valuable asset for various team compositions, and particularly friendly for free-to-play players. Ting Yun stands out as an exceptional 4-star buffer who can rival 5-star buffers. Her skill increases an ally's attack, though it doesn't directly enhance damage. Despite this limitation, Ting Yun's Eidolons are more accessible, and her support capabilities can significantly boost a team's overall performance. Trailblazer, Harmony, is a free character who performs admirably within teams focused on break effect. They excel in providing consistent ultimate uptime and are relatively easy to build and use. With the right partners, Trailblazer, Harmony, proves to be a reliable choice for players, especially those new to the game. Gallagher is a unique healer who inflicts debuffs on enemies while providing healing to his team. Although his healing may not be the strongest, especially in high AoE or single-target DPS scenarios, Gallagher's ultimate now inflicts the besotted debuff, enhancing break DMG received by enemies and improving his overall utility in recent updates. Jade excels in AoE scenarios with her talent, which synergizes well with other main DPS characters. As a sub-DPS, Jade benefits from having a main DPS who can generate charges, and her performance improves significantly with her E1 Ascension. Despite her reliance on crit rate for optimal performance, Jade's kit is straightforward to build and highly effective. Yunli is a powerful character whose performance is heavily reliant on her light cone, which increases her vulnerability to enemies. Without her light cone, her damage output suffers. Yunli requires active gameplay to maximize her ultimate's effectiveness, making her less suitable for auto-battle scenarios. March 7th. The Hunt is another strong free character with versatile build options, including crit and break builds. She performs well as a sub-DPS and provides valuable buffs to her Shifu. With her current status and potential future, Eidolons, March 7th is a worthwhile investment for players seeking a powerful and adaptable character. The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right: Dan Heng Imbibitor, Lu Nai, Jingliu, Acheron, Firefly, Boothill, Bronya, Fu Xuan, Huo Huo, Luocha, Ruin Mei, Silverwolf, Sparkle, Aventurine, and Robin. Acheron, a Nihility character, stands out by completely eradicating enemies from the battlefield, rather than merely debuffing them. Despite her high DPS ceiling and the unique combat system where she doesn't require energy to trigger her ultimate, her reliance on specific light cones and team members can make her less F2P friendly. However, her ability to deal massive damage remains unparalleled. Dan Heng Imbibitor, Lu Nai, also known as Cooler Dan Heng, is renowned for his overpowered enhanced basic ATK that can damage up to 3 enemies with blast attacks. The trade-off is a high SP cost, so pairing him with SP-saving characters like Ting Yun or Ruan Mei, or including Sparkle to increase SP capacity, is crucial for managing his resource requirements effectively. Jingliu, the Ice Queen, excels with her impressive crit rate and crit DMG bonuses from her talent and traces. Her normal skill targets a single enemy, but once she enters her enhanced state, she becomes an unstoppable force capable of decimating her foes with her relentless onslaught. Bronya, a valuable starter character, continues to shine in endgame content by providing a substantial crit DMG buff to the entire party. Her skill allows players to advance a character's turn by 100%, effectively giving them an edge in battle and allowing for strategic plays. Fu Xuan's unique shield, the Matrix of Prescience, redirects damage from allies to herself and enhances the team's crit rate while applying a crowd control debuff with each Matrix creation. Although her preservation path may not be the best fit for the simulated universe, her synergy with destruction and abundance blessings compensates for this minor drawback. Huo Huo is exceptional with her AoE healing, making her the ideal choice against enemies that rely on AoE attacks and debuffs. While her single-target healing is not as strong as Luocha's, her ability to heal multiple party members and dispel debuffs is invaluable in more diverse battle scenarios. Luocha offers reliable emergency healing through both his skill and talent, ensuring that characters remain in the fight unless faced with overwhelming single-target damage. His ultimate contributes additional damage and removes buffs from all enemies, making him a versatile addition to any team facing multiple buffed foes. Ruan Mei, despite her scholarly appearance, delivers significant buffs, including all-type RS Pen, weakness break efficiency, increased DMG, and SPD. Her ultimate can delay enemy actions affected by Thanatoplum Rebloom, which can be crucial in tight situations where every turn counts. Silver Wolf, the exceptional hacker, introduces a new type of elemental weakness to enemies, making her valuable against single targets or bosses. Her ultimate's Death Shred is substantial, though it only debuffs one target at a time, limiting her effectiveness against large groups. Sparkle revolutionizes support roles by increasing the maximum number of skill points by 2, which is a game-changing addition, particularly for SP-hungry characters like DHIL and Qingque. Her ability to advance an ally's turn, albeit at 50%, complements her role as a versatile and impactful support character. Aventurine outshines Gepard with a stackable shield that boasts 100% uptime, a damage-increasing debuff for enemies, and decent damage output as a sub-DPS. His comprehensive abilities make him a superior choice for protecting and boosting the team. Robin, often underestimated as a follow-up attack specialist, proves to be an invaluable universal buffer. She provides team-wide DMG and crit DMG buffs, and her ultimate allows the team to instantly act, a crucial advantage in certain gameplay scenarios like Pure Fiction. Boot Hill the Cowboy excels in applying physical weakness to enemies with his ultimate, making him highly effective against bosses. His focus on break DMG and his ability to inflict physical weakness make him a straightforward and powerful addition to any team with the right build. Firefly, despite her seemingly innocent appearance, transforms into a formidable force with her mecha capabilities. Specializing in break DMG, she combines speed, massive fire DMG, and the ability to implant fire weakness, making her an extremely potent character, though her team options may be limited. The video ends here. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe.